Hello, welcome to our second part of the global weather outlook from today, June 1st to June 6th. So, as you all know, from June 2nd tomorrow to June 5th, we won't be able to make videos. So probably our next video will come on June 6th. So this morning we made a forecast for Europe, Africa and Asia. So now this video will be for North America, South America and Oceania too. So this will be like a 5-day forecast for these 5 days that will be off. So let's go over here the forecast starting in North America and then moving over to South America and then Oceania. And share this video and stay safe, and please ask questions if you want on the comments. We will be able to check the comment, we just won't have time to make videos. So please stay safe these days and always check the links in the description to see latest warnings, and I'll put the link of this site right here so you can play with these graphics as well to see the forecasts. So let's start here at North America. We still have this severe weather today, spots of southern central US, especially to Texas and more spots. So you have like 5 marginal risks and 1 slight risk. So the slight risk is around central to eastern Texas, and there's this marginal risk into Oklahoma as well, southwestern Louisiana, and most of central Texas. A marginal risk in Florida, another one in Tennessee, North Carolina, parts of South Carolina, into Kentucky, in spots of, in those areas, and also this marginal risk in Montana, Wyoming, into Idaho, and Colorado, New Mexico. So be careful in those areas. Today shows scattered large hail and isolated damage winds possible later today into this evening across central East Texas. More isolated severe thunderstorms are possible across parts of the mid-Tennessee Valley into the Carolinas, central southern high plains, northern Rockies, and South Florida. So be careful in those areas today. There's like this 2% tornado threat in Florida, central portions of Florida, and Texas, like central to eastern Texas, including Houston. So be careful in those areas there. Stay safe. There's wind like 5% in all the marginal risks and 15% in Texas as well. So be careful in those areas, especially in Texas. Hail is also 15% in Texas and 5% in North South Carolina, parts of Florida, and New Mexico, Colorado, into Wyoming, and spots of Idaho and Montana. But the hail in Texas, the 15% is hatched, so potentially some very large hail spots of Texas. So stay safe there this afternoon. Be careful. Scattered large hail and isolated damage winds are possible later today into this evening across central and east Texas. More isolated severe thunderstorms are possible across parts of mid-Tennessee River Valley. Yes, I already read this. I don't know why I'm checking it again. But please stay safe in those areas. Beware. But today, it's kind of on the lower side. Tomorrow, there will be some stronger storms. Especially there's this light risk from Texas to Minnesota, including parts of western Oklahoma into Kansas and spots of Nebraska, South Dakota, into southwestern Minnesota, and also into Colorado and southeastern Wyoming for Monday tomorrow. So there's the tornado threat less than 2% in all the areas. So this might change still. So check this site again tomorrow about this time and check if they added anything. It's possible there that they might not add anything, because the main threat tomorrow is just like wind and hail. So there's this wind here and also hail. Hail is just a smaller 15%, further like central northern plains, and wind is the whole slight risk, so most of the slight risk. So be careful tomorrow. Those areas, some scattered severe thunderstorms are possible from the central and southern high plains into the northern Great Plains during late afternoon and evening Mondays. Severe gusts and large hail are the main hazards, so please be careful. Those areas Monday still have some ways to receive warnings for like the severe thunderstorms. And Tuesday there's this 15%. There's a slight risk from Texas to Wyoming, and the marginal risk from Texas to Michigan. So please be careful as well. There's like the probabilistic 15.5%, and shows here scattered severe thunderstorms are possible from the southern Great Plains to the Midwest, mainly from midday to early evening Tuesday. So be careful in those areas Tuesday. And here, check this if you want. The text, it's in the description, the link in the description, they have this. So here, let's see, day 4 for 8 is calm still nothing, but we do have this elevated 5 threat Nevada into California still, some spots there, so be careful. This is today, June 1st, and happy first day of meteorological summer. It's not actual summer yet, but like the way most meteorologists talk about it, meteorological summer. So yeah, and here for the excessive rainfall, we have this light risks southern Arizona today, probably because of the remnants from tropical storm Alvin in the Pacific. So the remnants did cause some more thunderstorm activity in Mexico that's coming up to Arizona. So be aware in those areas, some flash flooding possible. There's this marginal risk from California to New Mexico, and this marginal risk in Texas. So be careful in those areas. There's day 2, a slight risk in southern Florida and a marginal, a slight risk in spots of Wyoming, Colorado, to Nebraska and South Dakota, and this marginal risk from Nevada to Minnesota, and also Texas, Oklahoma. So be careful. Day 3, slight risk in Florida again, and another slight risk from Texas to Illinois. So be careful in those areas, especially some flash flooding possible in the plains, Midwest, and Florida. And then there's day 4, still a slight risk, Texas to Arkansas and Oklahoma, and a marginal goes all the way to Canada. And day 5, a slight risk, Texas and Arkansas again into Oklahoma. So be careful in those areas. Day 1 through 7, still showing a big area, more than 7 inches possible, Texas and Oklahoma, and more than 5 inches into Missouri and Arkansas as well, Kansas. So please be careful in those areas. Florida, the Bahamas, potentially more than 7 inches in the Bahamas and 5 inches in Florida. So please be careful. 5 days, just around some 6 inches in Texas and already 7 in the Bahamas. But between day 5 and day 7 does increase more. But day 1 through 3, not much, just around some 4 inches there in Oklahoma. But Florida already 5 next 3 days, so stay safe there, spots of Florida. And there's like this heat risk still in southern Texas, major spots of the northern Midwest as well, and then still southern Texas, even to the northeast, some moderate heat risk. Wednesday, Thursday, still in the mid-Atlantic, into Maine, spots of Texas still major. By Friday the 6th, shows some major heat risk in Texas still, some moderate on the west and on the east. Potentially Saturday on June 7th, some extreme again, spots of Texas. So be careful in those areas. There's the severe weather probability here from the Colorado State University. So today, for like, this is 29 May, so this is not valid, sorry. But here day 2, day 3, so here day 3, they just have a 15% as well, just like the National Weather Service from Texas to Missouri, and their 15% is even smaller than the Storm Prediction Center. So the Colorado State University is definitely not so excited about this. But later by day 6, they do still have a 15% to watch. There's the SIPS, which has that random 30%, but I don't think Tuesday will be that big, but just be careful of the regular severe storms. So the show here like as some storms, some showers scattered across the west in Arizona, so some heavy rain from time to time, southernmost California as well, spots of Montana, you can see some storms there from that margin risk. So Texas, you see like south, so here shows later this afternoon near Waco, Central Texas, some stronger supercells. This goes there, and might have later in the evening more hail and some stronger cells, even white there. So stay safe in those areas. This goes, and tomorrow, Monday, show some stronger ones in Mexico, so be careful, some severe weather there too. Some scared ones in Texas, into Kansas, Oklahoma, and some other ones. So the whole region here shows like tomorrow, Monday, the main threat is further north, that the slight risk tomorrow. So the herd does have those storms in Minnesota and Nebraska, some stronger storms there, and those ones might have a higher chance for damaging winds too. So be careful in those areas, especially later in the afternoon. And shows here like Florida, Monday tomorrow, showing some big downpours, southern Florida, central Florida as well. So be careful those areas. The Bahamas too. So this goes shows more storms most of the day. Not most of the day, starting around noon, around Florida, the Bahamas. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. And the storms in the plains, especially further northern plains. So stay safe. Their escape shows this afternoon in Texas, even to 3,000 joules per kilogram, a few spots in Texas and Florida. So this goes shows tomorrow the escape surges as far north as Minnesota, showing even more than 3,500 in South Dakota Cape tomorrow, ahead of that slight risk. So be careful in those areas. There's some good instability. The ceiling is not that high, it's just a slight risk, but those storms will have a lot of energy to tap into in the atmosphere. So be careful. There's the dew points show some light yellows there, close to like 60s, high 50s into 60s. 50s is like green, so 60s, yeah. So some good dew points as well, especially Oklahoma in the 70s. But the main area tomorrow is like those 60s dew points in Minnesota into South Dakota. But they aren't that great either. But that shows some good dew points. So stay safe in those areas. Here's here's another model that I actually never used before. It's an experimental model from the National Weather Service, the rapid refresh. So it does show like Tuesday, this like Monday evening for the storms. Does show this line of storms like Nebraska into Minnesota, maybe northwestern Iowa spots there, potentially those severe storms in those areas, especially into Nebraska, South Dakota, and those areas. So this model is showing some pretty intense storms there. So stay safe. Some damaging winds with that, some hail too, perhaps tornadoes if they are strong enough. So stay safe. Later Tuesday, so this is 11C, already shows some storms midday. But later shows like in the afternoon Tuesday, this starts taking shape, but still not there. So here by 22C already shows those severe storms in Texas. By Tuesday, Texas and Oklahoma shows the stronger ones. Some in Mexico too. So stay safe, but especially later in the evening, about 1Z Wednesday, shows like this line of storms, even spots of Missouri into Wisconsin. This line of storms will have some damaging winds, spots of the Midwest. So be careful. But it's showing that the main severe activity around Texas and Oklahoma Tuesday, some tornadoes, possibly like severe wind gusts and hail. So stay safe there. Be careful those areas, especially like Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday. and it does show dew points at that time. These models were into the 70s into Arkansas and Oklahoma and Texas, those dew points. As far north as Wisconsin, some 64 dew points Tuesday evening, so some very good dew points as well. So stay safe in those areas, be careful there. And by Tuesday, uh, the accumulated precipitation, it already has spots of Florida close to like 5 inches already in a few southernmost spots, and might be even more, some darker browns there to like 6 inches or something. So be careful in those areas in Oklahoma, Texas. It does show a few spots already to 5 inches, so stay safe in those areas. And by the end of the run, by Wednesday afternoon, it does show some more in a few spots, especially to Arkansas and Kansas, more as well. So stay safe. That heavy rain too, and be careful those areas. So here does show like uh, there's the Europeans. So let's see here. So shows that low pressure now in eastern Canada with more rain and snow, those storms in Arizona, northern Mexico, and then shows Monday evening in Nebraska into Minnesota, those severe storms there. Be careful. And Tuesday, this bigger line of storms, more like widespread, goes all the way from Texas to Michigan. So be careful in those areas. In southern Florida, that moisture, the European tries to get a low pressure there near South Carolina coast, but not really. There's the Canadian too, shows like this goes those storms there, and it almost gets a low pressure off the coast of the southeast, but not quite there. So we are watching still. And there's now Sunday these snow spots of northeastern Canada, especially in Quebec, Labrador. Some freezing rain and sleet still happening. Some spots there in Labrador. So be careful in those areas now. And then this goes shows like Sunday, and then Monday spots of Nunavut, shows this low pressure developing tomorrow there in Nunavut with snow behind it, some freezing rain as well. So stay safe in those areas. This goes shows more snow, a few spots of northern Manitoba into northwestern territories and Nunavut. So this goes Tuesday. There might be some severe storms in southern Ontario too, from that severe weather in the U.S. So beware, some heavy rain potential, some storms in Ontario Tuesday and Wednesday, some rain in Quebec Thursday. And then does show still Friday, some more storms in Ontario, and also the European has spots of Indiana into Ohio, some more storms further south in the mid-south. The European still has storms in Texas and Oklahoma by Friday. Saturday, the European still has scattered storms, so we still need to watch this more, because the Colorado State University did have a 15% on day 6, so probably from these storms they are showing up here. So be careful those areas. There's some snow in Alberta, British Columbia now, and then this goes shows those storms in Montana, finger two into North Dakota as well, and then shows tomorrow afternoon and evening there in Nebraska, those areas, those severe storms. So this goes into Tuesday there, and still shows storms spots at the southwest Thursday and into Friday further east. So stay safe. There's a low pressure in northern Canada there, and then some snow southern Alaska in the mountains, also today northern Alaska. So Monday this goes still some rain and snow southeastern Alaska, and then this goes like more like southwestern Alaska, but it depends on how you view it. So Wednesday this goes still shows snow there, spots in Alaska, Thursday, another Pacific system, some snow, maybe British Columbia as well. Showing Friday the 6th into Yukon, spots of northwestern territories, some rain and snow again in a few spots. And Saturday the 7th potentially still show some. So be careful those areas. There's the GFS now, shows in eastern Canada that snow and that ice, shows like British Columbia some snow too, and this rain in Manitoba, northwestern territories. Then this spins into a big low pressure and shows like snow tomorrow, Monday, spots of northern Saskatchewan into northwestern territories and Nunavut. So be careful those areas tomorrow, because the wind gust in this will be high as well. So that show like 75 km per gust to 82, and all this area here will have snow. So being under this wind and that snow will make you feel like under a blizzard. So be careful in those areas. There might be some blizzard conditions in those areas, central-ish to northern Canada. So be careful Monday. This goes, and there's the European model too. Like Monday, especially in Saskatchewan, stronger gusts. So stay safe. Those wind gusts plus that snow too, and then shows like some in Manitoba as well. Wednesday, especially central Manitoba. Let's hope this doesn't spread more fires. And then this goes Thursday, Quebec, and yeah, and potentially later by like June 6th, Friday, and June 7th into Saturday. British Columbia, slightly higher gust Friday, and still shows Saturday in Alberta, possibly in a few spots. And then the European still has on Monday, on June 9th, and Sunday, spots central Canada to watch, but that's far out. So stay safe in those areas, especially Monday with this low pressure system and that snow too. So stay safe. Right now, Sunday shows spots of Nova Scotia into New Brunswick, some higher gusts as well. And then Sunday, Monday, this goes a few days still stronger in Labrador. But this goes shows Wednesday, slightly more wind in a few spots. And then later, not really that much, but after the second week of June, there might be some more stuff to watch. But in Alaska, there's stronger winds southwestern Alaska still, and then throughout like Tuesday, especially Wednesday, Thursday, doesn't show much wind, but there will be that snow in those areas. But like strong wind, mainly now until Tuesday, a few spots southern Alaska in the mountains. So be careful those areas. There's like a potential outlook for the temperatures in the US, but before that, let's see the current warnings. There's just the air quality advisories from fires, the flood watches southern Arizona, and maybe some coastal advisories southern California, and some gale warnings the ocean because that wind, and red flag warnings, but this changes all the time. Please check this link in the description to see the warnings while I'm gone. I'll be back Friday with more videos, or Saturday, June 7th. But please check the links to see the updates while I'm not here. So shows like these temperatures today, Sunday, spots of the US, still some 90s further south in Texas, shows more than 100 in California still, especially in Death Valley, maybe even to 110, more spots in Utah, shows there even some 80s, 90s in spots of New Mexico, some 80s in Wyoming, Colorado too, Utah. So yeah, be aware in those areas. During the night, does show like slightly colder further in the northwest, some 30s in a few mountains there, some 40s the northeast, but still hot in the south. So still be careful during the night, some heat. But does show Monday afternoon some 90s in Florida, spots of Texas, some 90s still, more some portions of the central northern plains, some 80s still in California and Arizona close to 100, and a few spots in Death Valley and into Utah still, and still colder by Tuesday morning Montana. Maybe some 30s, 20s, even some low 20s in those mountains in Montana, southern Montana, into Idaho and the Cascades as well. Slightly colder spots, the Sierra Nevada, into the Rockies. So some below average temperatures coming to those areas, and but still hot in the mid south and southeast. So Tuesday afternoon does show some widespread 90s and 80s across the south, and some 80s as far north as Michigan, but still cold in the Rockies even during the day, and some 90s the southwest, cold more than 100 in Death Valley. So be careful in those areas. Wednesday morning does show spots of Wyoming to Colorado, and Idaho, spots of Montana, still cold, and some 70s in the south still during the night. And then Wednesday afternoon does heat up again, especially in the east, some above average temperatures, and Texas close to 100 again, but still that cold spot there in the Rockies, and the heat like around it. This clearly looks like a cold spot, and then shows close to 100 the southwest again, more than 100 in that valley, still by like Wednesday. So what the heck is happening here? So Thursday morning shows still colder, some 30s, high 20s in the Rockies, especially in Wyoming and the Sierra Nevada, few other spots the west, but further east much warmer, especially there in the south. So let's see, by Thursday afternoon, June 5th, shows more than 100 in the southwest again, 101, 102 in a few spots, and even more the valleys, some 90s in the valleys, California, some lower elevations in Nevada, and some widespread 90s and 80s on the east coast, as far north as Maine to 84. 91 in Connecticut, so yeah, be aware. These temperatures will change still, might change, but it's like a general forecast. So shows day 5 some 70s in the south during the night, Friday mornings some lows in the Rockies there still, so be aware. Friday afternoon much warmer, 70s in the northern plains, 90s in the south, especially Texas and Florida, some 80s, and more than 100 in again southern Texas, and Arizona to 103 already, 103 in California, even more in Death Valley, even like 202 Northern California valleys, and some 80s again, 90s, a few spots there for Friday afternoon. So be careful. Saturday, June 7th, during the night and morning, still kind of colder, few high elevations, some 50s in the north, in the northwest, northeast, and still shows hotter in the south and southwest. But Saturday afternoon, the 7th, shows again 105 in the southwest, 110 in the valley, and still close to 90s, 100 in the valleys, California. And Texas again, might be even to like 105 or 103. Be careful, some 90s, spots in the southeast. So stay safe in those areas later next week with this heat coming back. The show to 104 southern Texas, more spots in southwestern Texas, to New Mexico close to 100 next Saturday. So yeah, stay safe in those areas. There's the 24 max wingas, some spots there today, June 1st. They'll show some high winds on the coast of California into Oregon, so be careful, some high waves, and some slightly gusty winds, a few spots, northern Rockies and plains, the northeast, but nothing too crazy. So be aware those areas. Just first here, the winds in the US, of course, the severe weather have very strong gusts, so be careful with that. But let's see the just like wind in general. Here so shows in the west coast there of the US, gust here shows there in spots of the Rockies, to parts of the plains. Tuesday, that season the severe weather, some higher gusts. This is not the wind from the thunderstorms, this is the wind just there in general. The wind from the thunderstorms will be much stronger. So this goes, shows a few spots Tuesday afternoon there into the plains, Midwest. Shows some days in southern Texas, but nothing that crazy. Mexico, and then the rest looks pretty much fine, except for some wind gusts in the Pacific or in the southwest, or like slightly breezy in a few spots, but nothing really that crazy. Let's just check the icon to have a different idea. So the icon does show tonight in Nevada, a few spots in Oregon, those higher gusts. This goes Monday in the plains, the some higher gusts into Oklahoma, Colorado, spots of New Mexico and Texas, even to Wyoming. So Monday, Tuesday still has the strongest Tuesday from the same system of the severe weather, and it has still around eastern Canada a few spots. And Thursday doesn't really have much Thursday. The icon has something incredible here, so crazy. The icon is this low pressure system off of North Carolina. It's trying to throw a subtropical storm at us there. I say subtropical because there's moisture on one side and the other side is dry, so this doesn't have a tropical structure, but the icon is clearly showing something trying to develop there. So we might need to watch those areas too. But just saying, be aware. So here shows like the temperature forecast for Canada. So it's still hot spots Manitoba, central southern Canada. By the icon, it shows there. It's slightly colder northern Alaska still, and some spots in Yukon. So let's just see Alaska in Fahrenheit for a minute. So some 20s, 30s, especially in the mountains, some 20s, teens. So beware, northern Alaska still. This goes, shows spots of Quebec colder to northern Labrador, spots in Nunavut still colder, and those milder temperatures further south. Shows in western Canada still those colder temperatures in the mountains. This goes Monday there. Shows like still southern Ontario, a few spots warmer. This low pressure in Nunavut might have some colder air with it, especially like Tuesday, a few spots in Nunavut, northwestern territories in the north, colder there, into Alberta, British Columbia in the mountains, some colder temperatures, spots northern Quebec and Labrador. So this goes, that shows slightly colder air behind this front here by Wednesday. So in spots in northern Manitoba, into Saskatchewan, especially Nunavut, northwestern territories, those colder temperatures. Wednesday, this goes Thursday, shows some negative temperatures north central Canada, some more spots there. The southeast still warmer, so the afternoon does show a few spots warmer down the west as well, and other spots colder still. Be careful, still northern Alaska colder, and then southeastern Canada warmer. This goes shows by Saturday again the 7th warmer on the west again, and some spots colder down in the mountains. Then Saturday night into Sunday shows still colder, a few spots northern Canada, and I'm not sure this is Saturday morning or Saturday night. I think this is Saturday morning because this is on European time. So yeah, still those cold temperatures further in the northwest. Saturday morning, this goes on Saturday afternoon, warmer on the west still, and then this goes Sunday and beyond. But by this time, we'll be back, right, with updates. So be aware those areas too, and still be careful in those areas like the wildfire smoke. So this is the concentration of carbon dioxide, but this map can show kind of where the fires are too, because shows some very high concentrations in Saskatchewan, those areas. So be careful in those areas, the air quality, and let's hope that those fires end soon. So stay safe in those areas. Idea shows no accumulation, I don't know why, but here it is, shows spots of Nunavut, the European, showing even to 35 centimeters in a few spots, shows northwestern territories to 34 spots in Nunavut, and that shows no spots in northern Manitoba too, into northern Alberta, this not Alberta, northern Saskatchewan, and spots of southern Alberta and British Columbia in the Rockies there. So be aware, those areas shows more to western northern territories, a few spots there in northern Yukon. Be aware, like those areas, southern Yukon, the mountains, some snow there too in Labrador, spots of Quebec, still more snow, some areas there. And the GFS does have more snow in Labrador, a few spots central to eastern Quebec. The GFS has this snow, like some heavier snow, Yukon to the northwestern territories, northern Saskatchewan. So be careful, more spots there, western Canada in the mountains. So be aware, there's like here spots of Alaska, still shows the mountains to like some 72 inches of snow, spots of the mountains some 29 inches, 19 inches, spots of the north of Alaska some 5 inches, 1 inch, so some spots further southwestern Alaska. So yeah, stay safe. Few spots like right between Alaska and British Columbia in those mountains. So yeah, stay safe in those areas. Still be careful, there's no, the GFS is just like 35 inches. But if you zoom in closer, close to 50 inches in the mountains in southern Alaska. So stay safe in those areas and be careful there. Let's just see the smoke again here. So shows like this, all of this is smoke. You see this deep haze, this is all smoke. So Minnesota spots, even to Florida, the smoke has made it. So please stay safe in those areas. These fires are just insane. Be careful. Spots in Ontario, some snow, some smoke as well. It has made it all the way to Europe and it's getting mixed up in the clouds there. So be careful those areas and stay safe. Now here finally for the tropics, let's see first this rainfall accumulation. So first about Cuba and Florida. So there's this area that will experience this heavy rain next 5 days. Spots of western Cuba, potentially more than 100 millimeters. A few spots western Cuba into Florida, showing even to like 128. The GFS has some more isolated spots of Cuba to 100, but like western Cuba, in the Bahamas, it has close to 100 in a few spots. The icons more like more into Florida and near southwestern Cuba. So stay safe. Some flooding in those areas there. The European is showing like some spots like Miami to 5 inches, Homestead close to 6, even to 7 inches in Key Largo. So in Key West close to 5 inches. So stay safe in those areas of Florida. Some heavy rain. The GFS is just 2 inches. So this is kind of weird, GFS. But the icon also, because the icon likes focusing on the oceans. But the icon does have 7 inches in Marco Island, 4 in Naples, so be careful. Spots central, southern Florida. And the Bahamas too, especially some more than 3 inches spots in the Bahamas. The GFS to like 4 inches, but the models aren't showing as much as I expected in the Bahamas, but just stay safe there. There will be some very heavy rain too, and does show spots in Guatemala, close to 100 millimeters. Spots like southern Mexico into Guatemala, close to 100. Shows in Honduras those showers and storms. So be careful those areas. The heavy rain. Some spots in Panama, Costa Rica, those scared showers and storms. Mexico, there's a few distinctions here in Mexico. So there's the tropical zone, like those heavier tropical downpours, the post-Alvin zone, those thunderstorms from the remnants of Alvin, and the severe zone near Texas. So be careful those areas there in Mexico, especially the most chance for flooding is in the south. So stay safe. The GFS is even crazier. Shows in Guatemala more than 100 millimeters into southern Mexico too. It has spots of Nicaragua like widespread through Honduras and Nicaragua, more than 100 millimeters, and into Costa Rica, even to close to 200 in Panama. So the GFS more widespread on the rain, but the Europeans not that much, but it might be a lot in some areas as well. So be careful. The icon is like too little in some areas and too much in other areas, but it does show in Mexico more than 100 millimeters, a few spots next 5 days. So stay safe in those areas there. Be careful. The showers or storms, some landslides or flash flooding in a few spots. So be careful. Entonces, precaución con estas lluvias y tormentas fuertes sur de México, centro de México, próximos 5 días en Cuba, principalmente en el oeste de Cuba, más de 100 milímetros en 5 días, puede haber alguna inundación local y más lluvia y tormentas en América Central, así estas lluvias más fuertes. Desde 1 de junio como al 6 de junio, en los próximos 5 días, precauciones, más de 100 milímetros en algunas zonas en el Pacífico y cerca del Caribe también. Good. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. Now here for the actual like tropics outlook shows spots in the Pacific. So Alvin is gone. It has dissipated. But we have this area here, and just stop for a second and see if you notice anything different here. This is different. So now the Eastern Pacific outlook is including the Central Pacific too, so we can see the whole area here. So this is good. So and just see if you remember another thing that I didn't say. Happy first day of hurricane season. Yeah, first day of hurricane season. So let's see here. So that showed this area south of Mexico in Central America. Now 40% chance of development next 7 days. So that show an area of low pressures forecast to form offshore the coast of Central America, southern Mexico during the middle to late portions of this week. Once it forms, the disturbance is expected to move generally westward to west-northwestward around 10 miles per hour. Environmental conditions are expected to be at least marginally conducive for a slow development of the system. A tropical depression could form by the end of the week. So 40% chance, 7 days. So we do have some greater guidance that this might form in the Eastern Pacific. So just be aware there, monitor the updates. I think if anything forms, we will already be back by then. But just be aware in those areas. This link is in the description so you can monitor too. And yeah, be aware, the Atlantic still nothing. It's still in the quiet mode. But we might wake things up. So here shows like the ensemble spots of the Atlantic. There are these random ensembles the East Coast, like the icon that was showing that low pressure system, the Carolinas. So this the European model shows like a finger through there. The Europeans more focused on the Eastern Pacific. It has a lot of support there for something to form the Eastern Pacific. So we'll keep watching. Shows this big area of high pressure dominating the Central North Atlantic now, and this is even influencing some of the weather in the Caribbean, and shows spots of the show ensemble to the Caribbean, but the Europeans generally not too excited like the GFS. The GFS already has some ensembles going to Florida, and others into Mexico, and others into the Gulf, but this is still low support. This isn't that much to worry about. But the GFS definitely has more than the European has. So we better just watch this trend there, those areas. So be aware. But I think if anything forms the Atlantic, it will be like second week of June. But never say never. So be monitoring this if you are there. But like I doubt anything will form in the next week. In the Eastern Pacific, yes, I think so, but the Atlantic, it might take some time still. So shows here the tropical storm probabilities on the European model, shows like something on the Eastern Pacific, like Friday, June 6th, shows like a 10% there, the Pacific, June 7th, a 20%, and then does grow to a small 30% on the Eastern Pacific by June 10th. This grows a bigger 30%, but in the Atlantic, the European just on June 13th, a small 5%, so that's like very little. There's tropical depression, probably it's like just tropical cyclone, shows already by June 5th, spots in the Eastern Pacific to 20%, grows to 30% on Friday, then even has to like 40 to 50% by Saturday, June 7th. Does have Southern Caribbean too and the East Coast, because that low pressure system that might try to sneak up there. By June 8th, the European even has to 60% tropical depression probability is the Eastern Pacific, so this might actually want to form there. They're like 10% in North Carolina, so watch that as well, and does grow to 70% on the Eastern Pacific by June 9th, so something's really trying to crank up there. And then does show like spots in the Caribbean, still shows some random things, but later by June 13th, we might want to watch this general area here, the Caribbean into the Gulf. But still, we don't have that much evidence to say something will try to form the Atlantic. Just the GFS is bursting crazy model runs. But here shows like there's the potential velocity here shows those spots, the Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic. This is later into June, the second week of June shows those areas, some potential rising air more by the European forecast. I think this is the European, don't remember much, but does show some more favorable environment in general in those areas for something to form later to the second week of June. So we'll keep watching this, because also the Climate Prediction Center does have like a 40% of something forming the Eastern Pacific week 1 and week 2. And look what they have in the Atlantic. They have a 20% chance of something sneaking up into the Caribbean or the Gulf, like between June 11th and June 17th, a slight probability of something there into the Atlantic. So this is very little, like 20%, but this is a sign something might try to form. So be aware, those areas, the Western Pacific is also on this 20% side, and then they do show above average rainfall for Mexico in Central America. So that's something to watch for flooding too. But yeah, stay safe in those areas. Show still like spots of the Caribbean, some showers, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, slightly heavier. Shows a few spots in Dominican Republic. Not showing too much there, but a few storms and showers, yes. Puerto Rico, a thing or two. Shows into Jamaica, some 30 millimeters, not 19 millimeters. Some more spots, Central Cuba. So stay safe in those areas. And temperatures here for Mexico and those areas will look like the 5-day outlook until like Saturday, June 7th. So that shows still close to 39 degrees in the Yucatan, those areas there. So stay safe still into Guatemala, those areas very hot, spots of western Mexico too. So stay safe in those areas, more spots into Nicaragua, it's slightly colder in the mountains like Costa Rica and Mexico, especially during the night there in Mexico and those areas shows some lower temperatures. Mexico City, a few spots in Guatemala. So yeah, be aware. But during the day, it rises a lot more, especially in the Yucatan. Those temperatures might pose a dangerous heat risk in some spots in Guatemala and Mexico, even northern the Dominican Republic to like 37 into Haiti as well, and spots of Cuba. So be careful. The Caribbean is mainly those tropical sea breeze temperatures, so don't worry too much. But the Bahamas slightly less than the Southern Caribbean, but still warm. And this goes Monday, Tuesday in the mountains, the high elevation slightly colder, in a few spots, even 6 degrees in the mountains in Mexico. So this goes, shows those areas still Tuesday afternoon, hotter in spots of the Yucatan, those areas there in Honduras, so still be aware. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, still colder, the mountains, Guatemala, Mexico, 11 degrees, even 10. Spots in Guatemala, down to Mexico, even some 8 degrees in the mountains. So Wednesday, this goes, shows like spots in Mexico, some 38 degrees, even to like 40 degrees in far northern Mexico. So stay safe. Nicaragua, it's quite calm, some tropical-ish temperatures in the south, just mountains are slightly colder. So Thursday, the 5th, still shows some spots in Mexico, still colder, and then shows like northern Mexico into Texas, those hard temperatures in western Mexico too. So stay safe. Precauciones com la calor. And into Friday afternoon shows like Friday the 6th, even to 40 degrees spots in northern Mexico again. And the Yucatan does get better there, but does show still during the night this colder spot in the mountains. But Saturday the 7th does show spots 37 degrees, even 38 again. Potentially, the GFS is like to 43 there Saturday afternoon. The Europeans lower than that, but this is possible by the GFS. So be careful those areas and stay safe. And now we enter our second continent. So for South America, we'll say a little bit in English and then Spanish for the rest. So first, a quick overview here shows like still those extra tropical systems into southern Argentina, spots of Chile, with those fronts and colder weather, and there's still some tropical showers and storms northern South America, including Trinidad and Tobago now. So be aware those areas that's affecting like southern Caribbean, Colombia and Panama and those areas. And I didn't mention this, but Bermuda has also this front now there, so be careful those areas now as well. And later, I don't see much else there, but be careful. So here does show those showers and storms throughout northern South America, still like Tuesday, Wednesday, especially in the afternoons, but this continues there Thursday, Friday, still those northern portions of the continent. So be careful in those areas because of the very humid and tropical air, the intertropical convergence zone that's right over there, and those heavy bursts of rainfall. So be aware, there's in the south some interesting things might happen. So still shows Tuesday afternoon some storms in southern Brazil, especially in São Paulo and other spots Tuesday and Wednesday, and then does show those storms go away into the Atlantic by Thursday, but shows some new storms potential in Paraguay and Argentina Thursday, and then this goes in spots of southern Brazil Thursday and Friday, still some storms possible, and all the way to like June 9th still shows potential. So we'll keep watching that, and southern areas still shows some fronts in Chile, some rain and snow, some areas until like Thursday, still shows Friday, southern Chile, and potentially later shows more. So be aware those areas. Now let's see here more in Spanish. Hola, ¿qué tal? Entonces, en América del Sur, a estas lluvias más fuertes en los próximos 5 días, desde hoy 1 de junio y hasta viernes, así 6 de junio. Entonces, como en los próximos 6 días así, más lluvias y tormentas fuertes en sus zonas de Colombia y Venezuela, unas zonas en Guyana, Suriname, norte de Brasil y estas zonas así, estas lluvias y tormentas más fuertes. Y a ver, solo un segundo que estoy arreglando una cosa. Vale, entonces miramos que hay la zona de convergencia intertropical que está dejando estas tormentas y lluvias más fuertes así. Y aún hay como norte de Perú, algunos días así en Ecuador, Colombia y estas zonas todas, principalmente en el Atlántico, en Guyana y Venezuela, más lluvias así en estas zonas. norte de Brasil, aún muestra lluvias norte de Brasil, así una zona centro-norte, así, y jueves, viernes, así, quizás más en Guyana, Suriname, en Venezuela, bastante lluvias, tormentas, así, en Venezuela, viernes, sábado, y durante esta semana toda, en estas zonas. Entonces, precauciones, así, con estas lluvias, y hay un modelo diferente que muestra así como estas lluvias, tormentas fuertes así en Venezuela, Colombia, así miércoles, jueves, así, más en el Caribe, algunas zonas jueves, viernes en Colombia, norte de Perú y estas zonas todas. Entonces, precauciones con estas lluvias y tormentas, y en los próximos 5 días muestra así, principalmente en Colombia, muestra unas zonas de más de 100 milímetros, casi 200 milímetros en algunas zonas en Colombia, y más zonas en el Pacífico, unas otras zonas centro-sur de Colombia, y en Venezuela hay muchas lluvias y tormentas, muestra más sur, centro de Venezuela, así, quizás en el norte también, y un poco en el Caribe, en las islas así del Caribe, más algunas así, algunas lluvias así en Trinidad y Tobago, más lluvias en estas islas cerca de Venezuela. Entonces, hay un modelo diferente que no muestra tanto así en las islas, pero muestra un poco. Pero muestra sí estas zonas en Venezuela y Colombia, bastante lluvia fuerte en esta zona toda, sí. Por ejemplo, en Colombia muestra más de 100 milímetros, muchas zonas, cambia mucho esto, cambia el tiempo todo, sí, como 193 milímetros, 142, y continúa esto, porque en estas zonas tropicales, sí, que siempre hay estas lluvias fuertes. Entonces, precauciones con inundaciones, deslizamientos de tierra y todo, sí, en estas zonas. Muchas precauciones, más en Venezuela, algunas zonas, muchas zonas, sur de Venezuela, norte de Brasil, más de 100 milímetros así, norte del Amazonas y otras zonas más al norte, sí. En Guyana, más de 100 milímetros en el Atlántico, algunas zonas centro-sur de Guyana, en Suriname, más lluvias y tormentas, y quizás en Guyana Francesa, en el Atlántico, más de 100 milímetros. Entonces, precauciones en estas zonas, y es esto, pero pues, principalmente con deslizamientos de tierra y lluvias muy fuertes, así en Colombia y en el Pacífico, en Colombia, en Ecuador, norte de Ecuador, cerca de los Andes, precauciones con inundaciones o deslizamientos de tierra, más así centro de Ecuador, norte de Perú, y aún hay bastante tormentas norte de Perú, así. Entonces, precauciones centro de Perú, así un poco, y más norte de Brasil. Y más al norte-este de Brasil, más lluvias así en el Atlántico un poco, y estas zonas. Entonces, precauciones muestra alguna cosa así en Bolivia, centro de Bolivia, alguna lluviasita, pero en Argentina y Paraguay ya tenemos una otra situación, y ya muestra más de 100 milímetros, algunas zonas sur de Paraguay, Brasil y extremo norte de Argentina, potencialmente por unas tormentas semana que viene, así, el jueves, así. Entonces, quizás tendremos un sistema de tormentas en estas zonas, así, con lluvias bastante fuertes, unas zonas en Paraguay, Brasil y Argentina. Entonces, estamos monitorando esto. Un otro modelo tiene casi todo en Brasil, pero también tiene un poco bastante en Argentina. Y este otro bastante en Brasil, así, y bastante norte de Argentina y Paraguay. Entonces, precauciones semana que viene en estas zonas, porque será el día 5 de junio esto, y nosotros estaremos fuera hasta el día 6. Entonces, no vamos a hacer más ningún vídeo durante esta semana. Entonces, mirar los enlaces en la descripción, que hay alertas y pronósticos y todo, y precauciones. Y en Chile, así, sur de Argentina, más lluvias fuertes, sur de Chile, con estos frentes fríos, más zonas más al sur, así, centro-sur de Chile. Entonces, precauciones en estas zonas. E a ver aqui uma coisa muito rápido. Então, aqui no Brasil, mostra essas chuvas mais fortes no norte ainda, mais de 100 milímetros algumas zonas em Roraima, no norte do Amazonas, no Amapá, no extremo norte do Amapá, assim, essas chuvas mais fortes perto do Pará, algumas zonas nessa zona norte, tudo, essas chuvas tropicais. O nordeste ainda mostra em Recife, Maceió, Alagoas, algumas chuvas assim costeiras ainda, na Bahia, algumas chuvas costeiras, mas semana que vem vamos ter uma situação um pouco mais perigosa, assim, mais pro sul, tipo Santa Catarina e Rio Grande do Sul. Mostra mais de 100 milímetros, algumas zonas norte do Rio Grande do Sul, mas isso é mais Santa Catarina, assim, dia 5. Então, mostra mais de 100 milímetros perto da Argentina, umas zonas de São Paulo, uns 32 milímetros, até uns 60 perto do norte de São Paulo, mais zonas. Então, mostra que, tipo, amanhã, segunda-feira, algumas tempestades no Paraguai, essas chuvas na costa leste. Daí, terça-feira à tarde, mostra em São Paulo algumas tempestades espalhadas, no Paraná também. Daí vai embora isso, mas quinta-feira, dia 5, essas chuvas, assim, na Argentina e no Paraguai, no Rio Grande do Sul e Santa Catarina. Então, quinta à tarde, uma chuva bem forte em Santa Catarina e parte do Rio Grande do Sul. Então, cuidado nessas zonas. Dia 5. Ainda faltam uns 3 dias para isso, mas essa semana a gente não vai poder fazer vídeo nenhum. Então, já fiquem sabendo disso e fiquem de olho nas atualizações, nos links, na descrição do vídeo. Então, mais chuva, sim. Umas zonas, dia 6, sexta, ainda alguma tempestade no Paraná, ou alguma coisa em São Paulo, sexta, daí vai embora isso, mas ainda mostra, tipo, dia 8, alguma tempestade possível, mas principalmente dia 5, essa chuva mais forte, Santa Catarina, Paraná e Rio Grande do Sul. Tem um modelo que mostra mais de 120 milímetros, assim, Santa Catarina. Então, cuidado com alguma inundação nessas zonas durante essa semana, alguma tempestade mais forte, assim, ou severa. Então, cuidado nessas zonas. E é isso. E só para ver uma coisa que terça, quarta, quinta. Então, mostra esse ar mais frio na Argentina. Isso não são as temperaturas, é o ponto de orvalho, que mostra o ar mais úmido na Amazônia lá e mais seco mais para o sul na Argentina. Então, quinta passa as tempestades. Mostra, assim, um pouco de umidade em algumas zonas, mas não tanto, porque é bom avaliar isso para saber se vão ser fortes ou severas tempestades, que quanto mais úmido o ar se juntando com o ar frio, mais severo fica. Mas a questão na quinta-feira vai ser mais chuva forte, assim, o perigo principal. Então, cuidado. Vale, entonces, miramos los vientos que hay como hoy día 1 de junio muestra unos vientos más fuertes sur de Argentina, sí, unos 106, 107 kilómetros por hora, unas zonas así sur de Argentina, y en los Andes, en Bolivia, unos vientos más fuertes. Entonces, precauciones en estas zonas. Día 1 así en el Atlántico, bastante fuerte, quizás día 2 así en los Andes y sur de Chile, pero muestra día 3 más vientos fuertes centro de los Andes y estas zonas. Entonces, precauciones así en los Andes y más así sur de Argentina y en el Atlántico día 4, quizás vientos más fuertes. Este otro modelo también tiene norte de Paraguay y Bolivia, más vientos así el miércoles y así día 5 en las Islas Malvinas y quizás día 6 alguna cosa así en los Andes y día 7 no mucho, pero más en los Andes. Quizás después del día 10 más en Chile, sí, pero depende bastante. Siempre cambia esto. Y estas tormentas el jueves, día 5, quizás haya viento fuerte también el día 5, sí. Y precauciones, porque día 2, mañana, ya va a haber algunas cosas en Paraguay, así, Argentina, algunas tormentas. Entonces, precauciones en estas zonas y en el Caribe y estas zonas muestra algunos vientos más fuertes algún día, sí, más vientos así, norte de México, quizás alguna cosa, día 2, quizás norte de Colombia, más viento, día 3 así y otras zonas, día 4 así en Cuba, en el Caribe, un poquito más de viento, día 6 así, y aún muestra estos vientos así en el Caribe y quizás norte de México, alguna cosa, pero norte de América del Sur no muestra mucho viento, más con estas lluvias y tormentas fuertes que habrá más viento fuerte, sí. La nieve en 5 días muestra alguna cosa en los Andes de Perú y Bolivia, pero muy poco. La nieve más fuerte será en Chile, sur de los Andes, y Argentina, sur de Argentina, sí, las Islas Malvinas y South Georgia, sí, y estas zonas más al sur. Entonces, quizás en los Andes, centro de Argentina, sí, en los Andes, y también en Chile, un poco de nieve. Y este otro modelo tiene más nieve centro de los Andes y sur de los Andes. Y este otro principalmente más al sur. Entonces, precauciones con esta nieve así en los Andes. Miremos ahora las temperaturas y primero miramos una cosa aquí, así mejor, que aún muestra unas temperaturas un poco más acima de la media. Algunas zonas en Argentina, unas zonas más abajo de la media y quizás días 4 así, muchas zonas un poco acima de la media, pero quizás día 6 unas temperaturas Bolivia, sí, o en el Atlántico un poco más frías. Y se va esto quizás en Brasil, día 9 de junio, más abajo de la media, Bolivia, Paraguay y estas zonas. Y después va a ir cambiando esto. Pero las temperaturas hoy, día 1, no está tan frío, pero está normal así, pero más frío más al sur, en los Andes más frío y al norte de América del Sur más cálido, así unos 30 grados, unos 32, 33, más cálido. Pero durante la noche, así, en Brasil, ya está unos 4 grados en Santa Catarina, unos 5 más al sur, en Uruguay unos 6 grados, norte de Brasil más cálido, y en los Andes bastante frío, así en los Andes, unos menos 4, más sur de Argentina, temperaturas negativas, y durante el día ya más cálido así en Brasil, unos 35, centro, nordeste, así en Brasil. Entonces, precauciones. Norte de Colombia nos 36, Venezuela casi 38, algunas zonas sí en Venezuela. Pero 60 de Venezuela nos 25, 28, 32, y así en Bolivia y Perú fuera de los Andes, más calor, así en los Andes el Pacífico menos, y quizás norte de Colombia, de Perú esté un poco más. Y durante la noche aún un poco más frío en Uruguay, unos 5 grados, así en los Andes bastante frío, en Perú, Bolivia, Argentina y Chile, más frío así, y sur de Argentina y Chile más frío. Buenos Aires 9, 10 grados así, y día 3 así, quizás más cálido, martes por la tarde, norte de Paraguay, Bolivia, y así, más frío por la noche, algunas zonas en los Andes principalmente, y casi menos 17 así en los Andes, así algunas zonas. Y miércoles por la tarde, más cálido norte de Paraguay, Bolivia y Perú, norte de Colombia, Venezuela, así en Brasil, a unos 35 en el norte, 26, en el sur durante el día São Paulo, unos 23, 24, y más zonas así en Mato Grosso, unos 33, 32, así, y a ver, quizás día 5, más frío centro de Argentina, una zona centro-sur de Argentina, sí en los Andes, sí en Chile, un poquitito más frío, y día 5 por la tarde, más cálido sí en Bolivia y Brasil y estas zonas, y así día 6 por la mañana, unos 9 en Buenos Aires, 5, 4 grados en otras zonas, más frío sur de Argentina y Chile y en los Andes, claro, y hasta norte de los Andes en las zonas muy altas. Entonces, día 6, así, quizás día 7, un poco más de frío, así, en algunas zonas, pero ya está más cálido así en el norte. Entonces, precauciones en estas zonas, principalmente las lluvias y tormentas y todo, y es esto. Good, so stay safe there. So now this video is like the longest video I have ever made, so let's just finish here things off with Australia and Oceania, because we have this massive low pressure system near the southeastern Indian Ocean that will leave this front across Perth, southwestern Australia, more spots there Monday on June 2nd and June 3rd as well, Tuesday. So still Monday, Tuesday across southwestern Australia, some more showers and storms in a few spots there. Tuesday shows Wednesday, more still some rain. Perth Wednesday, a few storms, and potentially they'll show Friday further into southeastern Australia as this front progresses. And Saturday, the 7th, still shows some rain and snow in Victoria, New South Wales Sunday, and all the way until June 9th. So we'll keep watching those areas. Still shows, like in Queensland, still shows storms in Queensland and New South Wales tomorrow, Monday, June 2nd. So this goes, and potentially this extra tropical cyclone affecting Lord Howe Island by Tuesday, June 3rd, some strong thunderstorms. So be careful, North Howe Island, and as you might have guessed, New Zealand. So they'll show June 4th this front into New Zealand, like very strong system, might have some strong winds into big part of New Zealand. June 4th, some stronger thunderstorms and some heavier snow or freezing rain in those mountains there. So be aware, June 4th, this goes, might even affect Fiji, might go as far north as Fiji and Tonga, this cold front by June 6th and June 7th. So this is still to be determined. This is just one model run and one scenario, but this might happen. who knows. So there's the GFS shows those storms in New South Wales, Queensland Monday to Lord Howe Island, especially Tuesday the 3rd and into Wednesday the 4th shows some heavy rain and heavy snow there in New Zealand. Wednesday this goes, so be careful in those areas, and shows Thursday the 5th and Friday as far north as Fiji, some showers there Friday, Saturday. So yeah, stay safe in those areas. Shows the GFS this front southwestern Australia too. This goes also central western Australia. And this continues through South Australia Thursday the 5th and Friday the 6th, with some snow maybe on the 6th and the 7th, even potential Sunday the 8th and Monday the 9th. New South Wales. So we are watching for that snow potential too. There's the icon, those storms in Queensland, New South Wales Monday. Be careful, Lord Howe Island might have some rough conditions. This big thing on Wednesday, the 4th in New Zealand. So please be careful with heavy rain, storms, and strong winds and everything in Waitangi. And still shows rain in New Zealand like until Saturday, the 7th. So shows like so this arrives like late Tuesday into Wednesday. This goes Thursday. Still some snow in the South Island. Shows still some showers Fridays in New Zealand and some snow on the European. Still on Sunday. Shows a thing or two there. So stay safe those areas, and let's see. I hope you can still hear me because I'm trying to fix something. So sorry if there's any interference, but here so shows like those storms there. The rain accumulation from the European is even showing more than 100 millimeters spots of southwestern Australia. So here so it shows like some southwesternmost spots even close to 204. So this front might come in strong to southwestern Australia. Even Perth, the Europeans more than 138. The GFS is to 47, so that's a big difference, but you never know what way it might go. There's the icon right in the middle. I think the icon is more accurate, around 77 in Perth, and more than 100 meters just south of Perth. So stay safe in those areas southwestern Australia. Be careful, some stronger storms, some periods of heavy rain, and even some minor flooding. So stay safe. These parts of most of southwestern Australia, some heavier showers and storms. And also into Exmouth and Kaiapha slightly heavier a few times as well, and some showers near Broome as well, but nothing too crazy. More showers near northern Queensland, some spots. Those storms in Queensland, New South Wales, that will cause the extra tropical cyclone there. So be careful, those spots, Queensland, New South Wales, might be stronger storms. Tasmania, still some fronts, even to 38 millimeters. South Australia, some more rain from this into Victoria. A thing or two into other parts of South Australia as well. So stay safe in those areas. There's the GFS, some on the east coast of Australia there. The icons, New South Wales and Tasmania, it has more. The axis shows like, I think this is, yes, so the axis is kind of different. The axis is just 28 millimeters in Perth, so it has less there, but the axis is more than 100, like the far southwestern corner there of Australia. So be aware in those southwestern most areas, and even in Exmouth and Kaiapha, some more rounds of slightly heavier rain. So be careful those areas too, and let's see if this loads here. So the axis does have those storms like to Queensland, New South Wales. By Monday, this goes there into Lord Howe Island and Burnt Pine. So Burnt Pine might get some rough storms through Wednesday, potential Tuesday to Wednesday, especially Wednesday. Yeah. So The axis is this big front to New Zealand too, so stay safe, New Zealander. Be prepared for this rain, wind, and everything. So stay safe. So in terms of rain accumulation in New Zealand, does show the South Island spots to more than 128 millimeters, 131, more spots to 130. So be careful. Those areas shows in New Zealand to like for Northern Island, close to 100 in a few spots, some rain in Auckland, some storms. The GFS is to 100 in the southernmost part, but it does have storms northern New Zealand too. The icons all over the place, but does have more to 100 in the South Island and some heavier spots in the North Island too. So be careful in those areas. The access, if it manages to load, it does have some spots in North Island to more than 200. So the access, the only model showing this more than 200 in the North Island. None of the other models have this, but you never know. Just be monitoring, be aware. It shows spots of South Island well above 200. So sometimes the axis can exaggerate, but it's mostly accurate. So be careful. The heavy rain in New Zealand, maybe some flooding danger, and yeah, so stay safe. Shows snow here. So the European has a ton of snow in New Zealand, like a ton. So it shows some 45 centimeters in the mountains there. More spots in New Zealand to 37, some 16, 22 centimeters, 11, 21. So please be careful. Finger two in the Northern Islands, but mainly in the South Islands. So be prepared for a snowstorm if you are in those mountains there. The Europeans even to Christchurch some snow, so that's possible to some light snow on the coast, but the heaviest thing is in the mountains. So the GFS even to 61 centimeters in the mountains. So stay safe in those areas. The icons has 0 in Christchurch, so this is possible to like if it just stays in the mountains and shows there in the mountains more snow. So stay safe in those areas in New Zealand. The icon already has some in New South Wales and Victoria next 5 days. The European has some in Tasmania 5 days, some 7 centimeters. The European some hints of snow in Victoria, but like just 1 centimeter. The GFS already has some 3 centimeters in New South Wales until Friday the 6th. So be aware those areas in Australia. And if I put until June 12th, the European is already to like 45 centimeters in New South Wales. So after June 7th, we might have some good snow in those areas. So be aware. But this is just one trend. This information will change still, but since the models are mostly agreeing, let's trust it. So there's the axis. The axis also doesn't have anything on the coast. The axis is just in the mountains there in New Zealand. So be aware. And it does have some 8 centimeters in Tasmania, like 2 in Victoria. So the axis does show something there too. So be aware those areas, and yes, so stay safe. There's wind in New Zealand. So first in Australia, shows this front coming. Might have some rough surf near the coast in a few spots. So this goes shows interior spots Western Australia, slightly higher gusts a few days as well. So Tuesday this goes shows in Perth, a few spots in the south as well, slightly higher gusts. Wednesday shows just south of Western Australia, stronger gusts there. Be careful the wave action too, and the tides. So this goes shows Thursday the 5th, just south of South Australia, stronger gusts, and potentially reaching into South Australia Friday the 6th. And the European array has Saturday the 7th, the mountains in Victoria, New South Wales, potential strong gusts. Sunday, the European still has strong winds there on the second week of June. So yeah, stay safe in those areas. There's the GFS in southwestern Australia, few spots there with those storms, and into South Australia later too. The icon has a similar thing as well, and later on in southeastern Australia. So stay safe in those areas. We'll keep watching. There's like this system that's going towards New Zealand shows late Monday into Tuesday some strong gusts Lord Howe Island. Then Tuesday, this rapid low pressure forms that's Tasman Sea, and then Burnt Pines, slightly stronger gusts too. But towards New Zealand, already shows Wednesday some higher gusts there, and I don't know why this just changed to knots. So shows some spots Northern Islands driven to 91 km per gust, some 87, more spots Northern New Zealand 65, some 77. So be careful, South Island as well, and also the coast of Eastern Australia, some strong winds nearby. So be careful. Wednesday, and this might get even stronger in New Zealand. Still, by like Thursday, June 5th, shows some spots there late Wednesday, including in Auckland, more spots there in New Zealand. So stay safe Wednesday. And the European showing this insane wind gusts in between both islands. So like even the capital of New Zealand, more than 98 km per gust possible. The icon's not so much there. The icon's more central North Island, more than 100 km per gust. But Wednesday, this goes and like shows Waitani starting Wednesday, Waitani, those strong gusts, but Wednesday to Thursday does get stronger there. So stay safe in those areas too. And later by June 6th, still shows some strong winds in the southern mountains there in New Zealand, a few spots in the South Island, even the North Island. Friday, Saturday, still the Europeans still have strong gusts in between both islands, Saturday and Sunday, and in Waitani, June 7th, June 8th. So that's a possibility too, but still will change. There's the GFS, this goes Monday there. Tuesday, the GFS has strong gusts as well. Northern New Zealand, spots central New Zealand there. Wednesday in Waitani, it has some very strong gusts, the GFS. And then this goes, and the GFS still has strong gusts by June 7th, but the GFS is in Northern New Zealand. The European is in central areas. So yeah, there's the icon, shows already today stronger in Waitani, but Sunday, Monday shows like southwesternmost New Zealand by Monday and Tuesday. Then this goes, already shows strong winds Tuesday before this arrives in the mountains. So this goes, the icon is like very strong gusts, even to 121 km per gust a few spots. The icon can exaggerate sometimes, but it can be very accurate too. So it shows strong gusts central New Zealand, and I guess something insane like 136 the icon. I think that's a little bit off, but just stay safe. This might be a massive windstorm, and if there's rain or snow, it might make some dangerous conditions, especially like blizzard in the mountains. So stay safe, and like rain blizzard if it's not snowing. So that's a new term I just made up. So be careful. And still the icon shows by Friday the 6 spots of the South Island, the mountains. The icon's kind of in between both islands as well, and some winds in the North Island in Waitani by Saturday, June 7th. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful there and stay safe. Shows those temperatures still colder central to southern Australia, spots still to 0 degrees, southern New South Wales. In New Zealand it's not too cold now, but coldish too. So this goes slightly warmer during the day. Northern Australia, slightly warmer, some spots there. Monday this goes, shows spots of Tasmania to like -1 to -2, and spots in Canberra to -1, more spots southeastern Australia, further north some spots colder too. So Monday, Tuesday shows more spots in Tasmania to like -2, and it might feel like -3. So stay safe, spots New South Wales and Victoria colder. New Zealand it's not too cold, but still quite chilly. Tuesday still already shows this cold air mass over southern Australia. It hasn't made it to New Zealand yet, but there's just 1-2 degrees widespread spots southern Australia. This is the icon actually, and shows spots there Tasmania too. The European does show similar thing, those negative temperatures southeastern Australia and Tasmania. On the east coast, around 13, 12 to 10 degrees in some areas, central areas a little bit less. And then Tuesday, this goes, starts getting to New Zealand, slightly colder there, and then shows still southeastern Australia Wednesday night colder. And then this goes, but this is insane. So shows Thursday morning, June 5th, potential to -4 just south of Canberra in the mountains, some 0 degrees, some -2. So this might produce a lot of frost there. The coast is still milder, but like central Queensland, even to 3 degrees, Victoria, spots of Tasmania. So stay safe in those areas. Much of southern New Zealand already those negative temperatures. So Wednesday, Thursday, the European just freezes. Southern New Zealand shows shows even to -11. The GFS is a similar thing. Checking the icons also negative temperatures, but this still will change some. But just be aware, after Wednesday the 4th, you get way colder in New Zealand and continue cold in Australia and even colder. So be careful. This is Friday the 6th, so this like Saturday morning does get better by Saturday in southeastern Australia because most of the cold there is in New Zealand now. But Saturday to Sunday still very cold in New Zealand, especially in the South Island. In Auckland it's some 9 degrees. It's kind of fine. But this goes sometimes 12 degrees in Auckland, sometimes 8 degrees, and shows in the South Island even to -14 in the mountains on June 9th. The European potential, like the Europeans even to like 0 degrees, northern New South Wales, -1 on June 10th. But that's too far, and by that time we will be back already. So just be aware, those areas in Australia, that cold coming, those storms in New Zealand. Now a quick look at the rest of Oceania. Let's hope this video uploads because it's too long. So Sunday, this goes Monday, spots of Papua New Guinea, Samoa Islands, these scattered showers and storms. Be careful this front Wednesday in Vanuatu and Fiji into Thursday with those stronger storms. So stay safe there in Tonga as well, Saturday, Sunday, and be careful in those areas. Does show 5 days here, the European, the tail end of this front, New Caledonia, Vanuatu, might be some heavy rain in a few spots there, especially in between Papua New Guinea and the Samoa Islands. So be aware of few spots central Papua New Guinea, those tropical downpours there, and spots in Samoa, Matau, to a few heavier storms still in the Pacific. A few spots Samoa slightly better, but still slightly heavier, and a few spots on Matau to heavier. Tonga, that front there, especially later in Tonga, and later by June 10th, the European does have this weird surge of moisture, Samoa Islands to Samoa, but we'll keep watching that. It's far out, but does show in Tuvalu and Kiribati, especially northern Kiribati and southern areas, more showers, but more showers there in general. Shows Micronesia, Hawaii, some more showers there, especially the intertropical convergence on Micronesia. So be careful, those heavier thunderstorms like you're used to. So stay safe. Palau, still some passing showers and storms. Puro to Indonesia. We mentioned the Asia video this morning, some heavy rain southwest, southeastern Indonesia. So be careful. In Hawaii, still some showers the South Island, a few spots central Hawaii. Nothing crazy, but just those Pacific winds there with some showers. So nothing too crazy. Just be aware, those temperatures still colder in the mountains, but fairly tropical temperatures in the low elevations. So be aware, those areas. This goes still shows here in Fiji. There's a few spots heavier that front, but that front might have some heavier storms too. They will have another situation south of French Polynesia too. So shows like until Friday the 6th, some heavy rain, those southernmost atolls, and a few spots in the Cook Islands, but especially between French Polynesia and the Cook Islands. So be careful because it shows here the model Sunday, Monday, a few showers spots French Polynesia, but more storms Wednesday scattered across French Polynesia, Cook Islands. Thursday, still more storms there, especially in Papeete. So this goes, and nothing too crazy, but this might be part of those fronts there in the Southern Ocean. So be aware in those areas. The GFS is this big moisture area, like just south of Papeete and near those southern atolls. The icons more further west, but does have some storms in those areas. So be careful there too. In Eastern Island, nothing too crazy, but some passing showers too. The European even to 17 millimeters. So be aware those areas. This goes, and does show a front there potentially Friday in Eastern Island. Then this goes towards South America later. So be aware those areas. Temperatures in the islands are fairly tropical. Some nights maybe slightly less, but this goes, and it's fairly fine there. Just be careful those heavy rain in a few spots because of those cold fronts. This goes, a few higher gusts in a few spots, might be strong winds near Australia and New Caledonia because of this system, especially some larger waves because of these winds. So Tuesday, be careful some small craft, some of those islands there, especially later Thursday the 5th shows stronger winds, more widespread areas because of these fronts. So be aware those areas, those waves here, New Zealand especially, might reach into Fiji slightly larger because of the front, but especially later Thursday and everything to New Caledonia, New Zealand, those spots in southern Australia, some large waves. So please stay safe in those areas, and yeah, be careful in those areas. And Bird Pine might have some heavy rain too because of those fronts, and stay safe, and check the links in the description while I'm out, so you can have updates. There's links for everywhere there, and there's this link here for windy too, so check that so that you can play with these maps here just like I do. And let's see here. So let's just see some frost. If you want to see like frost or thunderstorms, click on Map I here, and in Australia, like storm, snow, frost shows Monday, shows like Sunday now, some frost, some areas. Then Monday, Tuesday, a few thunderstorms. Tuesday there shows Wednesday, southwestern Australia, a few storms. Thursday, and then Friday, this might update still, but shows a few showers, but they're not showing frost here yet, but they show some snow like I showed you later. But if those temperatures that I showed you on the European model come true, like those -1 to -2, if that happens, there might be some risk of frost again. So be aware of those areas and stay safe. So be careful this week. Ask questions in the comments because probably I will have time to answer, but I won't have time to make more videos. But ask questions, and yeah, stay safe. So we will be back by Friday, June 6th, unless the weather goes crazy before that. Because if something ridiculous happens, we will try to make a video no matter what. So